Hey everyone, welcome back to Podcast for Your Life. I'm Jam, and sorry we were so quiet all of November. It was a pretty busy month, and it turned out that we didn't get to record but one episode right there. Released it at the very end of November, so it was a crazy time, and we're sorry for the radio silence.
Yeah, we really put the no podcasts in November.
Oh my goodness. Today is our 50th episode. Yeah.
Yeah, insert all of the noises.
Yeah, all the noises. But we just thought, like, okay, that's kind of cool. It certainly feels like,
Yeah.
so far it's the biggest landmark number we've reached. And we got to thinking about celebrating that in some form. And then just the topic of celebrations naturally flowed from that conversation. So we thought today we talk about celebrations, which you already know because you already read the title of this episode.
Celebrations for your life?
And there's all kinds of celebrations. So, like, what's the broad kind of definition? How would you define celebration?
I think celebrations is like generally something you do with other people. Could be just one other person. Could be 50. Could be 1,000. But I think generally it's like you're coming together with someone else or some other people, and you're kind of like doing things like eating, drinking, having fun, relaxing in some sort of environment that's different than the normal everyday life in light of something that has happened.
So you'd say that's pretty interesting. You'd say you really, maybe you can celebrate on your own, but it's not really like a celebration to the fullest extent of the word without like at least other people in some form.
Yeah, like I feel like most celebrations generally involve multiple people or lots of people or other people versus like, oh, happy birthday to me, and it's like kind of like there's something there that I think people wish that there could be others there. Like if you kind of see it in like movies or whatever, there's a scene in the beginning of Harry Potter, first movie, where he's like drawing a cake in the dirt for himself, and you're just like, oh, poor Harry. Like he needs to have a celebration for his 12th birthday or whatever, or 11th birthday or whatever.
You're commemorating some sort of landmark or accomplishment or change or whatever.
Yeah.
And the idea of doing that in a way that's somewhat communal or public, where like people are all recognizing this thing together.
It's like you want others to join in the happy joy.
It's like it makes that official in a way too, in the sense that like not only is this happening, but it's you're kind of marking it as like there's so many traditions like that through centuries of different cultures and stuff, where every important celebration is a public, communal thing. Yeah. And it's almost like if it's not public and communal, then it's not a celebration, It's not,
at least it doesn't feel like one.
Yeah. Interesting. So what are some celebrations that we should kind of dig into today?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of common ones or popular ones. Birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, graduation, holidays. Holidays generally have celebrations tied to them.
So I guess people can celebrate anything, but really for the most part, there's big things like those that are really fit the definition of a celebration.
Yeah, I think those definitely are the ones that seem just to be like the most common, because people celebrate like getting a new job. Like growing up, I remember a lot of times if there was like my dad had finished a big project or he had gotten a new contract for work with a really cool organization doing a cool project, we would sometimes go out for dinner as a family to like celebrate that. Right. I don't think most people celebrate like, oh, you lost your first tooth. Like, let's go, call everybody over and stuff. Yeah. Generally, it's for pretty like significant.
I found my lost coin.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's another story, literally.
And one thing that I've realized over time too is that for some people, birthdays are very, very important, and so it almost doesn't compute for people that I don't care about my birthday. So it's like I've had to actually dig my heels in a little bit and tell people like, please don't do anything for my birthday. I don't want the attention. I don't want to, like, it ends up being a lot of work for me. I have to pretend like I care to people. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for telling me happy birthday. I've never been told that before. Like, it's just, you have to go through all this rigmarole, and people really don't get it. And so it's like, I feel like I've had to put a lot of effort to make it clear. And still people are so confused. And yet when I ask them like why birthdays are a big deal, people don't really have great reasons. And maybe you do, and you can prove that to me now, but I really do not understand why birthdays are a big deal.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think people celebrate for different reasons. Some celebrate because they really enjoy getting gifts, and some celebrate because they had really fond memories of parties and stuff growing up, and maybe they like hope to continue that trend for the rest of their life. I think it just kind of depends on just like what people are kind of wanting. I think gifts is a big one though, because I feel like maybe we don't. People maybe aren't that generous year long. So if it's like Christmas and your birthday is the only time you get gifts, I think like for 18 years as a kid, that kind of sticks with you. So you kind of get into this mentality of like, okay, Christmas and my birthday, those are the two times I like get free stuff and not have to buy it myself. But if people don't get that for either of those, that can potentially affect like how they feel, like potentially, oh, I didn't get any gifts at either of those times in my life, so I don't really care. I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying like that could be a possibility.
Yeah, interesting.
So I think it has to do a lot with their upbringing.
Right.
That's my theory. Again, I'm not an expert. I haven't done the research, but that's like what I would theorize is how people were growing up. And also the personality comes into it too, because like I don't make a huge deal on my birthday, but I allow people to do like whatever they want to do to quote unquote celebrate me. But I'm not like going out of my way to make sure that I have people coming over for a party. Like if nobody's doing something for me, I kind of am like, hey, you want to just like barbecue, grill out or something. So
I think part of it too is just that feeling of like being the center of attention in a way that's not fun. Like if I was to gather people together for something else, like, hey, let's all watch the Oscars together or whatever. Like sure, I'd be the one that'd be the focal point of, I'd be the one gathering everyone. But the actual focal point of what we're doing together would be not about me.
And I think there would be a lot of people who would resonate with that. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't like being the center of attention. You're not the first person I've met who doesn't enjoy like people wishing him a happy birthday on his birthday. There's a lot of people who like maybe aren't going to go as far as you are to like lock yourself in your office.
Right.
But there's a lot of people who like don't want to be called out in front of others that it's my birthday. Because it is a little weird. Like when you're in public and somebody's like, oh yeah, it's my friend or it's my spouse's or brother's son, whatever son's birthday today. It's like, oh, happy birthday, and you're like, I just don't care if you know that. Like you're just a stranger. Like why?
Well, and it's just weird because people will say that, and I think people will say the words "happy birthday" to you, and it means a lot to them. They're thinking they're saying this really great thing or whatever, and it's hard because I'm like, it doesn't mean anything to me.
It's interesting. Yeah,
it's just weird. Also, this might be a factor. Okay, so thinking about this right now, my birthday falls in a 30-day radius of Christmas.
Yeah.
So gift-wise, it's not a big deal. It's not like, I don't know. It's not a big part of it. And
were you ever like stripped of gifts? Like if your birthday was, so mine's like 6 months from Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So it's like perfectly middle like my half birthday is Christmas Eve. So it was always like, oh my gosh, it's my half birthday, Mom. Can I open a gift?
Yeah.
Like, well, you were going to. Anyway, so do you feel like that was ever a factor growing up?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's just like how can you have need for things like that close together, so to speak?
Need or want?
Well, either.
Okay.
But and the other thing too is over time. This is like getting into weird territory, but over time, I've thought like what's nice about something like Christmas is you are receiving gifts, but you're also giving them. And your birthday, you're only receiving things, and I don't. Like that very much, and I think over time I've felt like this is totally personal. Like I'm not trying to judge other people for their celebration habits or whatever. I felt like over time it feels just selfish to want something
for your birthday.
Yeah,
interesting. Thanks for sharing.
I mean, like it's just you're just born. Like actually, I was born once.
Yeah, so, really. What we should do is give our moms a gift on our birthday.
Absolutely.
It's like, you know what? It's been 72 years, Mom, but you're 98, and here you go.
Yeah.
Here is my present. After all these years, I still am grateful for the hard work that you put into this.
And I think also it could be coupled, like, I like this idea. If I get my mom a present on my birthday, I think I should also apologize for something that I can remember that I caused grief for her about. Like, I'm really sorry about how horrible I was whenever this or that.
You should do that. That would be an interesting trend to start.
Yeah.
Like not and maybe it's like people still give you gifts.
Yeah.
But you're also like, hey, thanks so much. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I'm still alive after all those close calls with death.
And I could just call it like happy anniversary of you having to give birth to me. Like it's more about her than me.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that transitions really well into anniversaries.
Yeah. And anniversaries are cool.
Yeah, you're cool with that?
Yeah, look, why don't you share about it so that I can shut up?
I haven't really done much, but I know some folks who have really gone above and beyond for their spouses, and I think that's really cool. I think it is kind of what you're tapping into about it's not focused on me, it's focused on like showing love to another person. I think that's pretty neat. Yeah. I've only been married about 2 years, so I've only had 2.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a lot of experience with going crazy and stuff, but
yeah,
I try to do something special, cards and flowers, or actually she doesn't like flowers. So I have to find other ways of showing her gift in kind love.
Yeah. I also like anniversaries. It feels like, hey, together we have made it. Like it's a team effort deal. So I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which it totally is. And so we like to try to take a trip on our anniversary if we can.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Even if it's not like a super nice trip, it's just the idea of getting away and getting some quality time.
I think that's fun.
And so we don't have like a tradition about what gifts we give each other or something like that, but it's more about, how, but it's more about getting to spend time together and go somewhere cool if possible, if we can afford it. So
save up.
I'm a believer.
That's super awesome.
Yeah.
What are some other like popular celebrations that either you enjoy or maybe you experienced one that was like a really big deal to somebody else, like a friend or family or whatever?
Well, weddings, of course, are cool, and those are a celebration in and of themselves, and of course, people graduating. It's cool to commemorate those kind of things and say, well done to people. Of course, and this is a little different, but funerals can be a celebration in the sense of like celebrating somebody's life instead of being, a really, really a kind of a somber thing. People,
it can be both. Yeah.
These days, people kind of make it more of like a, hey, remember this person and all the good times we had with them and stuff. And so I think those kind of things, that higher level of celebration, are really cool and great. If we're not taking time to do that, I think we could be missing out.
Yeah. I participated in a Passover Seder once, which was pretty cool. So that was something I never had experienced and haven't experienced since, but it's kind of cool to experience other cultures and their traditions as far as celebrations.
Yeah.
So it was pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of these that we're talking about are big deals. Some of them are huge deals no matter what culture you're in. Others, not so much. It can change drastically. Like weddings, for the most part, are a big deal in every culture, even if they look super different. It's like, some cultures, a wedding is like sunrise to sunset, like a super long all day celebration or multiple day celebration or whatever. And I think some other cultures take funerals way more seriously than we do here. It's just it's interesting, but and
I think even like with certain ages are a big deal in different cultures. Like 13, I think, is the age that kids have like bar mitzvahs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then in some Hispanic communities, the 15-year-old birthday for a girl is like the Sweet 16 in America. So the quinceañera. Yeah. So it's interesting because it's like, wait, why 15? Like, you're still really immature.
And so I think that's something, not to belabor a point, but when I think of like weddings and anniversaries and funerals, they always seem like way up here. Sure. And then a birthday seems like
holidays. Holidays up there too.
That's true.
Holidays another cause
for celebration.
For celebration.
Yeah.
Which obviously varies by the country that you're, in.
Yeah. And like New Year is like a huge deal in some cultures, like in China, for instance. Chinese New Year is like a huge deal. Workplaces shut down and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then Christmas is pretty big in the U.S. and in Hanukkah and a lot of others at the similar time of year. And then, it's just people like to celebrate, and they're going to find ways and things that are important to them to do it about.
Yeah. Wow. That's a great way to end it.
Celebrations. Good times. Come on.
Celebrations. Just a couple of letters away from celibate.
Celebrations. There's either fire or something sweet or some sort of alcoholic drink. That's basically it.
Celebrations. It's cool to be with the gang.
Well, that's all the time we have, but thanks so much for listening.
It's been a great 50 episodes, guys. Thank you guys so much for your suggestions and for listening, and we love you guys.
Yep.
And we're celebrating you.
Yeah, celebrating you as you guys celebrate us. No, don't do that. Don't waste your time. Okay, we'll see you guys.
Adios.